Connect. Every time we do a live video on YouTube, they watch it. I've been getting some comments and feedback. So thank you. And here we go. All right. Welcome back to our Coffee Connect. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
This
we're
is
both
my little plug.
the
Oh,
tractor. Look.
look at you. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's record this. All right. Welcome back to Coffee Connect with Carlos and Chantel. A little plug for Kubota. Got me a new tractor a few weeks ago. Oh, we both got our Kubota. See, we are in sync even though we are not together. My name is Carlos, and I want to tell you a little bit about my beautiful bride and best friend, soulmate, Chantel, who I am missing. Feels good to miss her so much, but she is an incredible woman, amazing expert in helping people go from hurts and habits and trauma and triggers to triumph, to create a better story. And she is a master activator. And I am super blessed to have been working with her. I'm her best student. I'm a product of her expertise for the last 13 years, I think. 14 and a half, I guess. But her 24 years experience, even 11 plus years before we got together, was she helping abused and neglected children from infants, toddlers, all the way up to teenagers, and even obviously, since we've been together, helping myself and helping thousands and thousands of others. Chantel Campos, welcome to
Oh,
this.
wow.
I love
Yes,
you, babe. Miss you.
I love you too. I miss you too. So y'all get to get a little glimpse in us apart, yeah, a couple states apart, but yes. And then here's my incredible husband who has so many, oh my gosh, so many skills, so many gifts and talents with business strategy. Man, he has, really infiltrated people's businesses and caused them to have a rapid, uh, insane growth, and just continues to pull out their best identity, both individually and for businesses and for the family. Our passion is definitely starts at home, and we discovered that our mission is marriage mastery. So
Yeah.
recognizing the home is where it starts, and utilizing both of our skills to permeate outwards, right? Carlos, definitely a skilled communicator, working through businesses and for exponential growth, and myself through the emotional uh, trauma healing process that we all need, because we all have shit. We have to
when you
trudge through, right?
That's right. When you pile it up, it all still stinks really bad. No matter whose it is.
That's right. Awesome.
Oh, well, good to
So
see
for
you.
those of you who are like, where are you guys? So Carlos is in Texas, in Maybank, Texas,
That's
in the
right.
Dallas area.
That's right. I am privileged and honored, to once in a while get these opportunities as my expertise does go before, as Chantel, her expertise goes before we were together. Mine goes before we were together as well in the business world. So it's always a blessing. Our core stuff we work on is marriage mastery, but then we get to work on legacy stuff, which is helping people in their businesses. And I'm here in Texas, working on a business acquisition with some of our clients. And man, what a blast!
Making
What an
dreams come
opportunity!
true.
That's right. Helping dreams come true. Absolutely. That's what we do. And it does. It's really cool. It's a very unique situation to affect a couple of our clients, and helping one dream to help another dream is to buy one business between two. It's just amazing how it works out. And in the future, we'll talk more about it. It's it's really, really good. So, but yeah, and we still wanted to carry on with our Coffee Connect. And I wanted to see my beautiful bride, so I'm kind of like selfish that way and getting to see her gorgeous face. And A beautiful smile. I miss those lips, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But okay. As Hazel would say. All right, you guys. Anyways,
Okay. So, while Carlos is handling that side of things, myself and our team have been on Mission Simplify. So,
meanwhile, back at the ranch.
meanwhile, back literally, but so we are on Mission Simplify, and so something that we realized and we recognized is that so we have created, right, in our home, in our life, we created a system, some routines that that have been our foundation consistently for, like Carlos said, over 13 years. So, recognizing that we needed something to, solidify our family, our growth, and something that was super valuable and consistent, something that was our tool, our default, all of these things. And we call it Epic 30. And it has grown and transformed like we do as human beings. And it has taken on, bigger roles and then smaller roles. So it's grown and it's shrunk, and it's it's flexed different muscles. But one thing that we have discovered is that a super large percent of our clientele are Anabaptists, previously Anabaptists, and so recognizing both the beautiful gift of their ability to be dedicated and consistent in hard things, right? Was in a personal growth and development world, a super beneficial quality to have. Why? Because you don't have to convince them that they need to be consistent in something, right? Whereas, a lot of the population, it's really difficult to get them to commit to something and be consistent, right? So, but we also recognized in the process is, while our heart and our passion for freedom and empowering your decision, empowering your taking ownership and responsibility for the things that you do and the things that you don't do, right? In that, our three C's of connection, right? Confidence, communication, and commitment. If we don't own them and we're only doing them because we're told to, what does that create, right? So, but if we're exercising the muscle of taking responsibility and creating the consistency, creating the how, then we own our process. So recognizing the benefit of shifting things and presenting more in a freedom sense of example. So what, our heart and our passion is to lead by example, right, Carlos?
Yeah, I love that, babe. And do you mind if I share it? Like, show people while you talk it through, because I'd love for you to
Sure.
present it. So you get to see it. We've already shared it with a couple of clients, but it's hot off the press. It's super sexy and super awesome. And I'm super grateful for my bride and her leadership and her ability just to go after it. We talked about it and she got it done with her and Adina working on this stuff. It just, it's going to get done. It's going to be awesome. And so here we go. This is its debut for all of you. And so here we
Impromptu
go. Let's
debut.
see. Yeah, that's right. Impromptu debut. So here it is. And just walk it through for us, babe. I'm going to look at that. Even the logo's so cool, man. I
So
love what you guys did with that.
yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
it's kind of cut off on one
Is
end.
it? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Hold on. Let me
like sure.
fix this and let me stop my share. I didn't realize it was doing that. It's hard to tell what you're seeing.
So
So
the reason Epic 30 is the basics of connection is, our recognition of, when we work with people on finding their identity, knowing who they are, and knowing how valuable they are, and then being able to connect with others in such a way, which is, yeah, there you go. That's better.
Okay.
Which is super powerful. So this is again, it's intentional, right? The intentional part is really, really where the commitment, the training for commitment is, for those of you who have a challenge with commitment. This is a skill, it's a muscle that you can work, right, to get stronger in. Do you want to?
And I love, intentional connection will bring more meaningful, deeper connections. And we have to design it into our lives. That's the reality. But what I love what you have done here, babe, is you've made it so freeing. Like when I look at this, I'm like, wow, this is so refreshing. Very simple, very intentional. All right, so go for it. I'll let you go.
Okay, so with the intentional connection, right? Recognizing what the human mind does, right? We need to start our day with something that is going to, whether it's like, okay, so those of you who hit the snooze button 10 times, you're actually starting the day with failure. Let me tell you that. So if you choose to go up, get up right when your alarm gets off, jump up, change your state, turn the light on, get a drink of water, right? You're ready for the day. Well, this is the process that really like presses into the identity, knowing who you are, giving you that space. It's an intentional space and time that you take to connect with yourself, to connect with God, connect with yourself, and then be able to, face your day and connect with others. So, we talk about the release. So we have here the best results: integrate the Epic 30 process in your morning coffee. Look, if you don't drink coffee, whatever your routine is, it doesn't have to be coffee, right?
Maybe it's oatmeal, maybe it's breakfast. The point is it's best in the morning. You get your best results. And by the way, this has been tried and true, tested by thousands and thousands of people over the years. We've refined this over the years. This is a new refinement, a new enhancement. And some of you have seen our Epic 30 before. Some of you heard it when it was sanctuary practices, to create a sanctuary, a safe place in your home. Yeah, now it's Epic 30 instead of my Epic 30. So we're always making enhancements. And guess what? This is a new enhancement. If you liked one of the ways we were doing it before, it doesn't mean you have to change it. It just means this gives more freedom. We want people to understand that the principles of this are what matter. And the purpose is to create the 3 C's of connection in your life: confidence, communication, commitment. You're going to see this process. It involves those things. It has to. First of all, are you willing to be committed to doing it on a daily basis, at least 5 days a week? Why not? You're drinking coffee 5 days a week. I probably drink it 7 days a week, but point is that it's consistency. That's your faithfulness and commitment. And then now we're going to look at the ways to have confidence and then communication. So
can you raise
go ahead,
it up,
Chantel?
please?
Okay. The release thing, you got that?
So,
okay.
So first we're going to go into release, right? So, and these are just some examples of ways that we like to release. Okay. You may have something different. These are simply examples. So we have the journal, writing a letter to God. We like to call him Papa, but whatever it is, maybe it's just writing in a journal. You just, want to get it out. It's a release. Exercise is another one. Maybe you get up and you go for a run. Maybe you hit the gym and you hit the punching bag. You have, whether you have frustrations or you just need to exert the energy. And we have on here even an orgasm. If you're not familiar with some of our other content, we have talked in depth about the benefits of an orgasm. So
That's right. We have a whole training on that about freedom, and I've worked with lots of men about talking about this, and it's the same for women. It's
yeah.
a good release, and it's necessary for our bodies. For the man's, you know, prostate, it needs to be active. Like
It's
science has proven that, but we won't get into that now. But just that, want to
it's
make
a
that point.
physiological release, much like exercise, okay? And it's beneficial for the body. The other thing is worship, connect with nature or prayer, or whatever that looks like for you, okay? And then we go into the receive. So
Let
the
me
way
just stop you real quick, babe, because this is just phenomenal. Okay. Y'all, I'm just seeing this today too. Like, that's why I wanted to share it with the world. I'm like, this is hot off the press and it's super sexy. It's super awesome. Like, and super simple. And I am super grateful for my wife who makes things simple. She's been helping me do that in my life and in our business. And it's just good to have you helping simplify stuff, babe. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you done? Okay, so after the release, we go into receive, because much like, a pond that is stagnant, right? If there's no release, if there's no flush of fresh water, then that's when things fester. So that's the whole point, right? So we need a release valve, whatever that looks like. Imagine yourself, your being, your mind, your emotional state, all of those things being like a pond, without a release. Give yourself the release, and then what happens? We need to flood it with some fresh water. We need to flood it with some fresh, right, nutrients. So these are some examples to receive, and that's why we have here replenish where we released. Okay, so it's simply recognizing that, it's like you ever think of like, oh, I need some new clothes, but I have no room, I have no space. Well, you have to make some space, get rid of the old stuff that is probably holey and stinky, and replenish it with some new stuff that is refreshing, right? So the receive would be like your random Bible verse. We like to, you can even put it in your browser and say random Bible verse, and it'll pop up. Or you can take your Bible physically, open it to a random verse, and get a verse back, and receive the word in your interpretation. And then, we also have letter back from God, whatever that looks like for you. The other thing is read in a book, find some kind of wisdom. We like to get the random Bible verse, but if it's a book, it's a something that you're learning, something that you're hungry for, and you're gaining wisdom from something, beautiful. The other thing is Connection DNA course. If you are a part of our school platform, skool.com/EpicYourLife, you would have access to our Connection DNA course, which is another beautiful gift of wisdom. It's an 8-week course. So that's something that you could press play on. It's short nuggets, short bites that you can go through as many times as you want. The other thing is listen to inspirational video or get an inspirational quote. Listen, you gain inspiration the way you gain inspiration, and it is good. So whatever that looks like for you, these are just examples, just some examples of ways that we do it. We like to watch some inspirational YouTube videos. Carlos has a whole playlist of inspirational videos. Sometimes
It's kind of my thing.
when you see earbuds in his head, that's what he's listening to, because that fills his pond. Okay. I don't need as much of that. Sometimes silence is good for me. Sometimes, when I'm in the shower, I get like amazing downloads. That's where I find myself super in tune, and so whatever it is for you, you have the freedom to find it, to get it. This is simply, again, examples of being intentional. Then we have the give, right? So we're human beings that are living together on this planet, we have to give to each other. Carlos and I have created lots of ways that we intentionally outgive each other, right? But these are some of the ways that we started as a family. So as we release and then we receive, we go into the giving. And these are some of the ways that we like to give. Sharing with others what you received. So gaining, it's kind of like somebody sharing a prophetic word and you're like, oh yes, I want to receive that too, right? Or somebody, sharing an inspirational quote on Facebook and you're like, yes, that's so good, right? So much like that, it's what we've received. Maybe the word, the book that we're reading, you just have this like profound nugget that you got, and to share it with somebody else, right? It really completes the circle of releasing, receiving, and give. Okay. So we're receiving and then we're giving. So sharing with others what you've received, even if it's, your Bible verse back and you just got this profound word. So then we go into communicating gratitude and encouraging others in the way that they are worthy. We call them GWs. And on the second page, you'll see the basic communication model, which is, we utilize form. And there's just some basic questions here. And as you get to know somebody and you learn more about them, you get to find out down at the bottom where the message is, their strengths, their interests, their goals, and their needs, right? So when we can ask enough questions to somebody, maybe we know them, maybe they're family, and you think you know them, but maybe you need to ask more questions, because I will tell you, things change. Every age change, every seasons change. I mean, would it be safe to say that, there's different seasons of your life, your food preference changes, right? Your favorite color changes, all of those different things. We're evolving human beings. So we can never assume that we know everything about the people that we love. Okay. So I want to encourage you that in all of this, don't be limited and be like, oh, I already know. No, that's ignorance. Go ahead and ask some more questions. You may be surprised. So anyways.
And by the way, with that said too, Chantel, I want to just add in, because even like last night, Chantel, on the end of our day, we connected. And it doesn't happen every day while I'm gone. But last night we decided to make time for each other and connect. It's been a couple days. So, and guess what? I asked questions. She went on a date with our daughter. I asked questions about family. How was that time with our daughter? And, was it fun? That's, recreation, the R in form. And then I asked about how was her meetings with clients and what were some of the breakthrough in the team, because, she met with our team while I was traveling and it was super awesome. I said, you're now the new CEO because you do freaking so much better than I do. And so that's occupation questions. So I just want you guys to understand, this is not just a one and done. It's
Right.
constant. It's a way of life, and it's a way of communicating at a higher level to really show that you're genuinely interested in someone's life and that you love them. And that's what took place even last night. So just wanted to put a
Awesome.
little tag in there.
Awesome. And then, so communicating gratitude and encouraging others in what they're worthy of. Just to clarify that, we call them GWs. So, we talk about, I'm grateful for who you are. I'm grateful for the things that you bring to the planet. I'm grateful for the ways that you love and bless me. I'm grateful for, that you pick up your pants, or put them in the hamper, right? Whatever it is, when our kids were little, our son would be like, I don't know what to say. Well, you'd be grateful for the beauty in your sister's hair or whatever, right? Be free. What are you grateful for? And then what they're worthy of would be, when you identify what people's dreams and goals are or their needs, what they want, right? Because we want to really exercise the muscle of creating what we want. and the ability and the encouragement to do so. We all need encouragement to create what we want. Sometimes we get stuck with our limiting beliefs and we don't believe that we're worthy of it, right? Why? Because that's, bullshit programming. That comes
Yeah.
from, you know, the limiting beliefs that comes from somewhere. And it could be even just our own, right? Of like, I can't do this. Okay, well, you're worthy of it. So sometimes when we recognize that we're worthy of it, it gives us a little bit of courage to be able to move towards it. Okay. So we
Yes.
find that that's a really powerful, in fact, probably one of the most powerful aspects, of connection, right? That's our connection bridge where we have the ability to do that with every single person that you come in contact with. It doesn't have to be our immediate family. It can be it could be our waitress. I'd be like, man, I am so grateful for your smile. Like, it is so nice to see somebody come up to the table happy. It's such a great presentation. Thank you for that. Right? I mean, anywhere you go, you can express gratitude. You can express and it is part of that giving. So it's a mindset, it's intentional, and these are the habits that create those so that you have the ability to do that outside of your home, outside of the people you feel comfortable with, right? So
So
then the
good.
other thing is to give affection. A lot of people were not raised with affection, and that's real. However, it is a basic human need. So it's a muscle that we need to work. It releases oxytocin. It releases all of these things do, by the way. All of these things release oxytocin, which is a hormone in our brain that if it is not filled by things that are beneficial, if it is not increased by things that are beneficial, then it'll be increased by the things that are not beneficial. And then it sends us down a rabbit trail of bad habit, of unhealthy habits. Okay. So these are things that we can just be intentional of, you know, and if you don't feel comfortable giving somebody a hug, I want to challenge you. Move out of your comfort zone and say, "Hey, can I give you a hug?" We don't want to impose our stuff onto people, especially if they're not comfortable. But it is intentional in the ask, right? Asking,
Yes.
"Hey, can I have a hug?" If it's you that needs a hug, or
Yes.
may I please give you a hug? Like, if somebody is dealing with something and you don't know how to handle it, hey, can I give you a hug? Right? So it's really just, about being intentional. Do you have anything on that, Carlos?
Well, on this giving stuff, super powerful in each one of these. Again, we're always fulfilling the core things that we teach, and that the 3 C's of connection. You can see the more that you're giving, the more you're doing this, you're going to gain more confidence. And guess what? We definitely want you to audibly speak these things to people. That's the communication part. You're practicing that muscle of communication, repetition, repetition. And then commitment is be committed to this for others, to love others, to show love and kindness to others, but it also be committed for your own self because you reap what you sow. So you're sowing those things into others. And guess what? It's going to come back to you always. It's just how life is. And it may not come back from that person you give it to, but somewhere along the line, it's going to come back. And if we're in your lives, we'll probably do some giving back to you in that way because we love giving these GWs to people. So super
So
good stuff, babe. Thank you.
the other thing is Carlos just said audibly, right? So while I agree, I also don't want you to be limited to just audibly because we have friends and family who live near and far, maybe even in other countries. We are in a digital world, so there is
Yes.
actually no excuse, right? There's actually no excuse. We have access. There is an app that we like to use a lot, especially for that transcends phone types and whatever, so we don't have to worry about that because video calls are great, but Marco Polo is an
Yep.
app that we like to use and have found very, very instrumental in being able to communicate gratitudes and worthies visually, audibly, and and it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. You have the freedom to listen to it when you can and respond when you can. And so we utilize that tool quite a bit. Carlos, you have
So
anything?
I wanted to share this. That's why I went off screen share too. So we have been doing this a long time. We should have bought shares in Marco Polo, by the way, babe. We've been doing this since 2017. I'm going to show you. Look at that. Who is that guy? Who's that girl? All the way back from 2017 when Marco Polo first came out. What are we in? 2024? Like 7 years ago. When it
Yeah.
first came out, we started utilizing it because we saw it as a powerful tool for communication. And by the way, you can always tell when I'm traveling. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it actually popped up. So
Careful.
look at that. There's my daughter. I know, right? I deleted those. I'm just saying. I did. I was looking for them. I was like, dang it, I can't believe I deleted them. That's funny. The spicy Marco Polos from my bride. All right. But these are from 2017, and you can see little Hazel. That's from 7 years ago. She's now 15. So she would have been about 8 years old then. And so every time I travel, I mean, you can see it. There we go. There's February 2018, right? There's more from Hazel and me sending them to her and her back to me. And there's one in 2018 again. You see what I mean? Like, it's so useful. That's cute. You can see Hazel in the background there, and that one with Chantel. Anyways, you get the point. We've been doing this a lot over the years. One time I went to Latvia in 2018, and we were apart, and I captured some of the moments with Marco. And yeah, so look at that. Back and forth communication. We didn't have the ability to actually connect. We being in such different time zones, it was really crazy. So some of you are traveling. Maybe I know some of our clients fight fires and in different states and part of the nation. I know some of you are international, and some of you are even military. We've worked with military people that you're gone on long times of Marco Polo is the answer. And I know that sounds like I'm selling Marco Polo. I seriously wish I would have bought stock in it because we have introduced it to thousands of people over the years, but it's so effective because I'm in a different time zone. I still send my GWs and conversation. And it's so cute. I was watching some last night of these, and Hazel at one point is videoing her mom, Chantel, and she goes, she goes, Mom doesn't know this is on. And it's a Marco because I'm out of town. And so she's like videoing Chantel, and Chantel's, what are you doing? Like going, just teasing Hazel. And it's so cute. It's making me laugh, like looking back to how cute it was for Hazel to have this interaction with me, even though I'm out of town, right? And feel like she's showing daddy a part of her playfulness with mom while I'm gone. It was perfect. It was so good. And back then, Hazel didn't have a cell phone. So she was using mama's cell phone. And it was fun just to have that interaction. There was one time, too, she would grab the phone and just talk to me. Dad, how are you today? And I miss you. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And I get to have these for life, too. That's the cool thing about Marco. So I can't say enough good things about it because of the fact that it has been a part of our life for so many years. And it has been a tool that we've used. And many of our clients have used, too, in long-distance relationships, in travel, because it is true. When you're apart for a while, especially, let's go military, they may go on a year tour where they have to be gone maybe a year or two. It can happen, or several months. How's that connection happen, especially if you're in different time zones? Like when I was in Latvia, it was like my day was Chantel's evenings and her evenings were my days. Like it was totally different time zones, like 10-hour difference. So that presents a challenge unless you utilize tools and utilize our technology. So the technology that we have available in this world, when I say our, it's not, I don't own Marco Polo. I wish, but it is a subscription. And I'm going to tell you, it's worth it. It's like a few dollars a month. What a great investment if you're traveling a lot and the ability to use it. So Okay, go ahead, Chantel.
Off the soapbox of Marco Polo, it's not just a subscription. They do have a free model. You just
Oh,
don't.
that's true. You're
There's
right.
there's
You're
different
right.
benefits. So there is a free model. Don't worry about that. But the other thing that I wanted to say is a text is good. Okay. In the digital world, yes, Marco Polo is fantastic. And there's nothing better than looking in somebody's eyes and speaking gratitude in them. Okay. So I don't want to discount that, but I also don't want to limit you to just that. A text is great. I utilize text a lot. We utilize text a lot with our son.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
he's a professional rugby player and super busy. So fitting in time is hard. And so we definitely utilize text with that and sending gratitudes and worthies and being able to speak into his life, pour some encouragement, infuse empowerment, right? These are all things that so again, you have the freedom. These are examples of the ways that we give and have found radical blessings in the process. So then we go down to empower. And again, this has to do with starting your day. What are you starting your day with? Are you intentional of the how? Are you intentional with, motivation? Are you intentional with, strengthening? So this, it says do a power pose. So, power pose would be like something that creates confidence, a pose, that creates confidence. Look in the mirror, find your strength, right? So, they have superhero, Wonder Woman pose, Superman, all of these different things, something that really causes you to feel the strength rise up inside of you. Couple that with a motivating song. Sometimes we just need a motivational song, right? Blast it. Could be worship, could be heavy metal, could be whatever it is that turns your crank, right? Every individual has their own thing that resonates with them, and it's good.
So good.
Right? And then take action, right? Do what you need to do. Start your day. Don't hesitate. Don't get stuck in the 10 snooze button mode in the I'm not a morning person. Take freaking action. So, this is your basics for starting your day. Just simply with examples that we use. And so there you go.
It's beautiful. What a phenomenal job you did. And it's just the final page, which we were on already. And incredible, incredible, simple, effective, and empowering. I mean, empowering is a beautiful thing. And some of you, with the power pose thing, another little nugget for that is you may need to go look in the mirror and just, I love this quote of the word. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can't tell you how many times that has gotten me through hard stuff by looking in the mirror and just saying that over and over and over and over to change your state. And it's super empowering. So there's lots of cool little tricks and things. And all of these, by the way, that we've given you recommendations on, we can give you details and ideas, but the bottom line is what's important is for you to do something. The principles of release so that you can receive, so that then whatever you receive, you go give. And then be empowered to have an amazing, phenomenal day. Chantel, well done. Love, thank you for once again
Mission
continuing to
simplify.
refine. That's right. Mission simplify and mission accomplished. It's brilliant. And what's fun is people that cycle back through our lives or people that we've, mentored in the past to be able to get to see this stuff again. They're going to be like, what? This is fun. I know they are because they saw some of the complex stuff that I created in the past. And
Love
by the way, we
humility.
still have some of that. We still have some of it. It can be coupled with this. If you really wanted something detailed, that's fine. Some people like that, but
Right.
it's not necessary. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
So All right. Wow.
Awesome.
Phenomenal. Good stuff. Thanks for sticking around. Those of you, I know we went a little bit long today, but this is been an amazing time, just connection with my bride. And you can just see it while we connect. And it's good to hear her explain this process because it is very basic, but essential for deeper, more meaningful relationships. And I'm Carlos. This is my beautiful bride, Chantel.
Yes.
And we appreciate you joining us for today's Coffee Connect. And
Yes.
so if
Please
you
join
want
us.
more of this, go
Yeah.
ahead.
If you want more of this kind of stuff, please join us on school.com, SKOOL.com/EpicYourLife. We have a beautiful community there that we love and appreciate, and that we are all learning and growing together. Carlos and I do our best to bring you skills for marriage mastery and all of the ways that we not only have helped ourselves, but continue to help many, many other couples and
Right.
families. And so we are passionate about your freedom, your taking responsibility for your actions and your inactions, and being very intentional. So we believe in you. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thanks. And babe, I love you. Chantel, miss you.
All right.
See y'all soon. See you next time.